I came from a family of drug addicts. My earliest memory is my mom flicking pot seeds at me, and being at babysitters for days at a time. The first time that I used any drug, I was 8 years old, and I was given heroin, and that was just my life for a long time. I grew up that way. I started using meth at 14. All the while heroin was given to me off and on from the man that abused me. When I was 17, I went to prison, adult prison. My best friend killed himself in front of me. I was charged with negligent homicide, and I took a plea deal, Scared 17, and I went to prison. And I was released right before my 21st birthday.
As a previous social worker, I had lost my way and got addicted to meth, and ended up in prison for a while. During that time, I realized that this can happen to anyone.
I grew up in California, so I was definitely influenced by the Cholo culture, Chicano culture, however it's viewed out these days. So I wanted to be part of that. To me, that was the definition of what a man was. Although my prime example was my father at home, working 7 days a week to provide for us. So getting involved with the gangs at such a young age, it really blinded me to what I was doing. As I grew up, because I craved it so much, me and a couple friends ended up forming our own, and we were destructive and damaging to ourselves and our loved ones. Everybody suffered. I went away for 26 years in 1995 when I was 19.
I didn't feel safe as a child. I don't even remember before the age of 9 because of the abuse. And that went on till I left home at 17, and I was a full-blown drug addict. Then when I went to the penitentiary, I became a violent gang member and never felt safe because of being a violent gang member. In 2012, when God blessed me out of that gang, I still never felt safe because I was always looking over my shoulder waiting for somebody to come get me.
I was involved in everything you can imagine in the streets. I grew up in Southeast Colorado Springs as well as Washington Heights, New York City. With that kind of mix of streets and culture, I was involved in a lot of things that kind of led me astray. I got in trouble. I was sentenced to 15 years in the Colorado Department of Corrections.
So the first time I started using, I was about 15 or 16. I started drinking on the weekends, and that led to using cocaine and heroin on the weekends, which eventually led to meth use, and that was pretty much the beginning of the end for me. I started using meth at the age of 18, and I continued using. Once I started using drugs, I started getting charges for possession and going to jail and in and out of jail for possession charges. And
how old were you the first time you went to jail?
The first time I went to jail, I was 18. I remember being scared. I remember not even wanting to use the bathroom because I was scared of the position that I was in. And I thought I would never go back there, but I immediately got out and I started using drugs. I went right back to using drugs. I went to jail again, time and time again, and it just got more comfortable for me. I remember getting sentenced to prison for the first time and being scared, but I just thought that that's the way that the rest of my life was going to be. I had become okay with the fact that I was going to be in and out of jail and in and out of prison and living life on the streets for the rest of my life.
My upbringing was great and strong. My mom and dad were a good support system, kept me in sports, kept me in my books. As the age of 14, I got a little taste of freedom, and I just ran wild with it. Started gang banging, smoking weed, drinking, stealing cars. Actually stole a lot of cars in the summertime one year. We was on the news called the Little Bandits. And then from there, I just kind of just started making money, walking down Colfax. I went to Aurora Central, where there was a lot of gang activity, a lot of drug activity. And I went from there and just became a hoodlum.
I lost my kids to the department, but I got them back. 3 years ago to this day, I was sleeping in my car and I was still high. I got off paper, I got off all that stuff. I have 14 felonies. I have a job. I have a car. I'm totally legal. I don't steal. I don't do anything at all. I'm as clean as they come. I have my kids, I have my life, I have my house. Because we're not bad people. We're not lost, we're not gone, and we're not worthless. And we can be trusted. And that's what not only they teach you to believe about yourself, because I know that I'm a good person. I'm more than just an addict, and I'm more than just a criminal. And I'm successful now. And so it's about changing not only minds of the way that you feel about yourself, but it's the way the society looks at you.
Ain't no crime. You ain't gotta tell me I know it's crying. To lose somebody you really love and they not dead. Suck it up and roll. But you dead to me. Yeah. Love you with all my heart. I swear to God I do. So forgive you, but I never forget what you did. I'm not a human being, and I came up from nothing. Just imagine that. Now I got my own. Just imagine that. Try to take it from me, I ain't got it back. I lost day one. Just imagine that. Feeling like it's all on me. Soon as they fall, they gon' call on me. I remember when they used to talk about me. These days, now I got it all. Just imagine that. Like, I remember when it wasn't nothing with us. Now it's return. These days, now I got it all. Chopping game with the president, we on a call. Yeah,